I still see most people. I still see everyone. I don't see Mayor LaRosiliere's video.
There
Oh,
he
there he
is.
is.
There I
There he is.
am.
The video.
All right.
Excellent.
Okay. Thank you all, the mayors, again for helping us. And now Teresa will take over, and I'm going to step back. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay. And just so we're all clear, I'm going to begin recording now. My favorite thing to do is tell people when I begin recording because I think that's very important. So I'm going to hit record on the meeting now. Very good. So again, we appreciate you guys joining us. I know a mayor's work is probably never done anytime, but particularly right now. So let's just begin. In fact, if it's okay, I'll just sort of go in order here of the people I see on my screen. Mayor LeMay, you're up first on my screen. So what are your thoughts? How did you receive the governor's plan? And are you of the impression that it's time for Texas to reopen?
I mean, I liked what I heard from the governor. I mean, it is a staged, a phased plan and planning because all along this is not going to be, it's easy to shut everything down, or I say it's easy. It seems like that now, but restarting everything is got to be slow and gradual. And so I think the steps that are in place allow that sort of graduation into reopening the state. And yes, I do believe it's time to reopen. I know that businesses are suffering, individuals are suffering from a lot of things that they never imagined, and I get a growing sense that there's sort of this pent up anxiety and looking for a way out of all of this, but it can't be overnight. It can't be a flip the switch. And again, it's with the phasing, it allows for as they say, the devil's always in the details of how you open certain aspects of business and life. But at the same time, the governor was very, made the point several times that a lot of this is dependent on where the numbers stay. If, and a big component of that all along has been the testing and getting that. It needs to be much more robust to really get a better picture, not just here in the cities, but statewide, and that is going to be a key thing. So that once we do start opening things back up, to know how it is, how the disease is either continuing to level off, or if we're going to see a spike.
Good points. Mayor Chow, let me ask you, because you are a business owner yourself, you're a restaurant owner, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, so tell me about, from your perspective, how do you begin to get back to work in serving people, knowing that there is what the governor called this invisible threat out there? Are you worried?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, I'm the restaurant owner for 34 years. I'm probably one of the very few mayors as a restaurant owner. So I care about the business reopen, of course, as soon as possible. But however, while we're doing that, I want to make sure and we don't have more sick people. And it's important while you want to reopen the economy, and also you want to make sure we don't get more people infected with the coronavirus. So it's very difficult to get a balance. So I always believe this should be a gradual and steps, whether phases or steps. Besides, I would think there are 254 counties in Texas. You don't have to treat every county the same, because in Dallas, Texas, Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, or El Paso, those big cities. So of course we will have more people infected. But for the rural counties, we should have different kind of rules and to govern it. So I think it would be wiser to do that. So you don't have to shut down the entire Texas economy. And then, it's harder for you to reopen. I have a lot of friends are restaurant owners as well. They close forever, retire by using this time. So I believe when we reopen, we will lose quite a lot of small businesses. That's my deep concern. So my wife and I, we work very hard to keep our business going, but not everybody will do the same.
Quick follow-up with you, Mayor. How do you ensure that other businesses in your community, I mean, you're a business owner, but you're also leading a community of business owners. So are you worried about trying to support them? Do you feel like you've got enough information and data from the state to understand who needs what and how testing is going in your community? I'm just curious if you feel informed or you feel like you're having to fly a little blindly on making decisions.
We are located in Dallas County. I think County Judge Clay Jenkins is more restrictive in those rules. So basically, Dallas County has more strict rules, ordinances than the state of Texas. So just like a few days ago, and Judge Clay Jenkins asked for wearing masks beginning from midnight today. So also, if you don't do it, there will be a penalty. Then later on, he said, "Oh, we are not going to arrest you for not wearing masks." But but it's all a cautious ordinance, and then we try to abide by the rules. But we have, like in Addison, we have 87% of our tax revenue is coming from the businesses. So we can share those concerns and more than anybody else. So I would advise my city council and the city manager to do a thorough analysis, see how much the tax revenue is going to be reduced, and how can we help other businesses so that we will reduce our tax revenue while serving the community in the best way we can. So that's a huge issue. But the lucky thing I want to mention is we have 51% of rainy day funds from operating funds. So Edison, for the past years, we are so prudent and conservative. Yeah. So I'm very confident city will do just fine. Yeah.
Very good. Mayor Cook, you're up next on my screen. So let me ask you this question. We, at the beginning of this, sometimes some people complained that it didn't feel like we had a strong regional approach, that it was a little bit piecemeal, that you had some counties taking one approach, some counties taking something else. Do you feel as though going forward there can be a solid approach to everybody opening at the same rate? Are you concerned that if, Dallas County does one thing and Tarrant County does another, it's not fair for business owners? However, do you worry that if you do it too fast? I mean, I'm just curious as to how we try to go at this together, because in North Texas, we always seem to have this regional approach when planning for large events like the Super Bowl or anything like that. We all come together, but yet in this state or in this crisis, it hasn't necessarily felt like that. Just talk to me about that.
Sure. I understand the question, Teresa. And so, I mean, I would say that in this particular instance, it probably is better that it be a little bit more individualized. Like Mayor Chow was saying earlier, I know North Texas doesn't have a lot of rural counties necessarily in North Texas, but I think it's important that, Johnson County, who's on our southern border here in Tarrant County, I mean, obviously the number of cases that they have is far lower than what we have in Tarrant County. And obviously there's more in Dallas County there is Tarrant County. And so, in my opinion, it is better to take a little bit more of a local control approach. And, I don't know if that's what the governor will continue to allow as we go forward. But, the thing that I was really probably pleased with today was that, the strike force team that he talked about seemed like a very, very qualified team. And I really think that they're going to be able to put together a lot of information for local elected officials so that we can make decisions. And I would like to give a lot of credit to the business owners that were individually putting methods in place, such as some of the restaurants that were, putting methods in place to try to protect their employees and their customers. And so I just, really think that, like you said, North Texans can work together and take an overall approach together. But as far as mandating or, from a local control standpoint, I do think it's probably better in this particular instance that each county, I think the county approach is probably the best way to go forward, in my opinion.
Very good. Mayor Larissa, I can't ever say it right, and I apologize. Mayor Larissa, how about that? I have to say it slowly.
Yeah.
Mayor, let me ask you, I guess maybe sort of a philosophical question is, how hard of a job do our elected leaders have right now in trying to figure out that balance between getting back to business, because that's a public health issue too, right? I mean, you need to get money in people's pocketbooks, but yet also taking care of the fact that there are vulnerable people out there who, if businesses are open, the spread of the virus could do some real damage to them. So do you feel sort of the weight of the world on your shoulders right now?
Well, it's a shared weight by all our policymakers, and unfortunately, we're being asked to make decisions between two unfavorable choices. Sometimes, whether it's close down the economy or stay home or go back to work and possibly risk getting infected. So I think for us, we, in a moment of crisis, you really can't fully prepare for it. You have to make decisions in real time, and your decisions have to be based on information, intent, and integrity. And if you do kind of check those things off your list before you decide how you would proceed, then you'll usually get to the right place. And so as far as our approach going forward, I think the governor taking the lead makes it a little easier for us as counties and cities to have a sense of direction and tone, and hopefully we put these measures in place, these phase measures in place. We'll get out of this and get to the other side and get back to whatever that new normal ultimately becomes.
Okay, I have a question or a follow-up for you, Mayor Larocelier. If I say it slowly, I get it right, maybe. You are in a unique situation because you are in several different counties. So can you talk to me about that struggle? Do you feel as though there is one voice guiding you in the future or as you move towards opening? Or are you concerned that you may have to struggle between hearing what the governor says, hearing what the Collin County judge says, hearing what the Dallas County judge says?
Yeah, so Plano is in a very unique situation. We're the fourth largest city in the DFW area. We're the largest city, and we have parts of our city in Dallas County, and we're the largest city in Collin County. So we're affected very much by what happens in each respective county. Again, I think the fact that the governor's leading on this should make this a little easier than what we saw going during the stay-at-home decrees, because they were coming in kind of in a haphazard way. So the ultimate voice will be myself and our council. We will make the decisions that we feel are in the best interest of our citizens. And I've been in contact with the mayor, Mayor Price, Johnson, and Williams from DFW, and a number of the mayors in Collin County to make sure that we look to strike that right balance. Because ultimately, for us as policymakers, we have to have a sense of consistency to help take one shield of anxiety away, or one layer of anxiety away, as our citizens deal with this pandemic.
Very good. That's the crux of my questions. I'm curious if any of you guys want to ask each other anything or have any comments for each other.
So my only comment is I think it was said about the testing. I think the ultimate bottleneck on this process for us to ultimately get to that a better place is a broader number of testing on a more consistent basis. We can open every business if we want to, but if our citizens do not feel safe, they're not going to go visit. So go ahead and open a restaurant, and if nobody shows up, you have a restaurant owner filling up a staff and putting inventory, and nobody shows up. So until the testing is robust and at an adequate level, and not the medical expert to say where that is, but we know we're not there yet. I think to me that's the crucial turning point before things can move forward.
Yes. You know, I mean, I don't really have any questions for the other mayors. I will just say, I know, you know, we are one of the struggles that that I have experienced is there's no guidebook. You know, we are making this up as we go. We are having to make decisions in real time, knowing that, you know, in the very early stages of this, we were making decisions that frankly we knew by the time we could get them on paper, the situation was going to change, the evolution of all of it. And that was very difficult. And I think we've all, you know, I don't want to speak for the other folks, but, you know, I know I've certainly struggled with that. Our council has struggled with that. You know, there wasn't a book that we could turn to, okay, chapter 2, page 3, and say, okay, now we do this. And it's been difficult, but and initially we were not united on our decisions, but as the situation progressed, we found that single voice to move forward with, and you know, we have you know, we've all had to make some very tough decisions, whether that's impacting our citizens, or, you know, we also have lots of employees that are impacted by this as well. And that's been difficult. But I will say that by and large, you know, the public and our employees have been very supportive of the actions we've taken. And, you know, that support is really been very crucial to us. You know, as we work through this, and it will continue to be like that as we work our way out of it. You know, the steps that we're going to take to come out of this are going to be just as difficult as the steps going in. And you know, I know that again, we've all had our individual struggles. All of our cities are, you know, we're all connected to each other, but every city sort of has its own dynamic to it, but at the same time, we all have citizens and we all have employees that we have to consider in all this.
That's such a good point. Oh, go ahead, Mayor Chow.
Yeah, I always advise people to keep a good rest and good nutrition, and to increase your immune system, and also keep a good personal hygiene. I think it's so important so you don't get sick, so you'll be able to serve the community in a better way. So I hope all the people, all the citizens in my Edison, and will stay well. And everybody will learn this lesson and then move forward. And when the Texas reopen, the economy will come back. So I have a strong faith in this.
Yeah, Teresa, I would just close by saying that I just want to say thanks for y'all doing this. I think it's more of a stay tuned. I think that today's press conference was more about just following up what President Trump did yesterday and laying out the opening up America again. And, you know, we need to hear from our governor, and I thought the governor did a great job of talking on different issues. But I really think it was more of a stay tuned until April 27th. And hopefully on April 27th, we'll get some more things out there and opened and get people feeling good again, and the economy, you know, started in the right direction. Maybe we can get back together on the 27th to get more information.
I agree. I think that sounds like a plan. I would love to just sit and chat with you guys all day, but I know you all have many things to do, and I have a newscast to get ready for, a couple of newscasts. So I'll end, but really appreciate you guys doing this. And I think I'm on board. I would love to revisit with you once we get closer to April 27th, May 1st, whatever it ends up being. And Mayor Chow, just quickly, thank you and good luck to you as a small business owner yourself, as a restaurant owner. I can imagine it's been tough. So good luck. But I really appreciate it, you guys. Our story should be on tonight at 6 if you want to tell your constituents to watch.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye,
be safe, everybody. Wash those hands and stay home.
Yes. Thank you.
Take care.